Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast, your work week forecast for December 16th through the 20th. And things continue to look very active in the weather pattern. We are looking at a couple of storms that could impact us this week and some changeable weather as we kind of warm up to start the week and kind of through the middle of the week here with some rain tonight. And then a transition system, which may be wintry mix, could be it's hard to know exactly. This is Wednesday night into Thursday. What exactly is going to happen? Is it going to be more snow wintry mix or more rain wintry mix? Not entirely sure yet. We're going to have to wait a couple days to really see where the boundary sets up. And it could be a little bit of both, depending on where exactly you are in southern Vermont. So we're not going to get your final details on that today, but we are going to talk about that a little bit. And then we look to cool down quite a bit for next weekend as we head towards Christmas and the Christmas week and all that goes on in terms of skiing and things like that. So skiing is still pretty good for this time of year. The base is still not bad. But obviously, when the temperature is kind of this roller coaster is not great as things takes a couple days for them really to recover. I would say that even though we are going to see some rain and some warmer temperatures here, we should cool off by Thursday afternoon and overnight Thursday. So that gives a couple of days to really start to make some snow and hopefully get things looking pretty good for next week. Weather continues to look pretty active. There's definitely a chance of systems as we head beyond this as well. But we're not going to worry too much about it. Here was a little system that basically sunk south of us and has some upper level energy, but not much of a surface reflection with it. That's basically sinking off the coast of New England. Now, here's our system getting going for this evening, and you can see the upper level system way far to our north and the system kind of going to our west. That means rain, not even freezing rain or anything like that to start because of the timing here as we start. Rain could start early this evening and we're cloudy, not a chance to cool off or anything like that. And then this plus some energy to the north of this comes together to be our storm on Thursday. It's a very strong, very, very strong system across the west. It will not be as significant as it heads towards us, although it could bring a brief bout of some wintry mix that could cause some travel problems on Thursday morning. So that's kind of the main thrust of what's going on. Here's the rain. You can see there's some pretty heavy rain associated with this front, and it will weaken a little bit certainly in the warm sector down here. We aren't really going to get into the real warm air, but we could get some heavy showers briefly as they move through. It'll basically be while you're asleep tonight, so we could pick up a quick quarter to third, maybe even a half an inch of rain if we get some of the heavier showers. It'll be pretty quick, though. It'll happen mostly after dark and before you wake up in the morning. Could be a few lingering showers as we wake up in the morning, but basically it will clear through. And then all eyes turn towards a system in the west. That'll be the one that has a chance to be a little bit more impactful in terms of practical weather. Before we get there, though, we can see temperatures. You can see we've got this warm bubble of air across the eastern 2/3 of the United States. It's actually really not that cold. Very this is Pacific modified air with that big storm that has moved on shore. You can see kind of when you get a lot of these temperatures in the 20s and 30s, this is when you get that big push of Pacific air into the west coast. However, to the north, we do have cold air across Canada. We're going to start to tap into some of this as we head towards the end of the week and towards next weekend. Obviously not the 20s and 30s below zero, but definitely chances to be quite cold as we head towards next weekend. And again, that's good for snowmaking. And not cold, not ridiculously cold, but quite cold certainly is a chance. It's going to feel like it is winter, which it is. So there you go. It will be even meteorological winter by then. We're closing in on the end of meteorological fall very quickly here. Seasonal, astronomical winter. Meteorological winter actually starts on December 1st. So we've been there for a while. So what's going on in terms of the upper level that kind of explains? There's really two main pieces. Here's the upper level energy for the system on Thursday. And then this piece is also going to interact with it. And exactly how deep we allow the cooler air that's associated with this system here to dig before the system kind of starts to ride southwest to northeast across the northeast will determine the exact position of the surface low will determine whether we're mostly snow, whether we're mostly rain, or a mix. I think mix is the best bet right now. And obviously, the further north and west you are and the higher in elevation you are, the better chance you will have of seeing mostly snow, as is kind of consistent. But where that line might happen, and exactly, it's not going to be a huge snowstorm no matter what happens. It's a pretty quick mover. It could snow pretty good for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, but it's a pretty quick hitter. Probably not more than 6 to 8 hours of precipitation overall. So, but And we're looking at basically somewhere in a third to a half an inch of precipitation, which if it was fluffy snow, could be 3 to 6 inches of snow. I'm going to guess except for maybe the mountaintops, nobody's probably going to see that 6 inches of snow. But it could be enough kind of a slush that it could become problematic for the morning commute on Thursday. So as these two systems come together, really too early to tell. The models have been all over the place and are all over the place on exactly what's going to happen with this system. So I don't want to kind of lock you in. I'll be back on Wednesday morning when I do, and I'll have an update on this. They'll kind of have the fine details figured out for you on Wednesday morning. But that's essentially kind of the timetable we're looking at. Beyond that, it cools off significantly as we really kind of tap into the cold air behind this system, tap into some of that air that was across northwestern Canada. There is a slight chance of a coastal system in the midst of that. The models have kind of danced around for the weekend on that. Right now, it looks like probably not, but we'll have to keep a little bit of an eye towards and really anytime Saturday through Monday for a chance of does one of the kind of a fast moving Clipper system team up with some southern jet stream energy to create a system across the Northeast. That is possible, but right now I would bet probably not, but it's something to keep half an eye on. But it wouldn't happen until 5-6 days out anyway, so we don't really need to be too worried about it. Let's take a quick look at the actual forecast. As you can see, rain starts after you go to bed tonight. Temperatures kind of in the upper 30s. We basically stay there throughout the night tonight. Chill, and then tomorrow we're in the 40s. A little bit of sun tomorrow afternoon late as we do get a little bit of a warm day before we start to see kind of some cooler air sink back into the area on Wednesday. That's the question, is how much of that happens before we get to Wednesday night into Thursday. That's where we get that wintry mix. Behind that, breezy conditions as we move some colder air in. As you can see, temperatures on Friday, highs only in the low 20s. If you're going to try to get here to ski on Friday will be tough. They'll still be in recovery mode. It'll be icy on Friday if you're trying to ski. Could be a little bit better by Saturday and Sunday, but Friday will be tough, and it will be pretty chilly. I mean, we could still be kind of breezy at the mountains, so just be bundled up for the weekend. If you're going to ski this weekend, it definitely should be getting better as the weekend goes along, but you just want to be bundled up, ready to ski like it's winter, like it is. Okay, let's take a quick look at those work week highlights. An active weather work week with a light rain event tonight and a wintry mix event Wednesday night. Temperatures will be above average for the middle of the week, much colder temperatures towards Friday and the weekend. A storm Wednesday night will bring light to moderate precipitation. Like I said, a third to about as much as a half an inch of precipitation. Unlikely that will be fluffy snow. So half an inch would mean usually you'd expect 6 inches of snow being about the maximum you'd expect out of that. I don't think anybody's getting there except for maybe the mountaintops. But anywho, travel could be slippery though Thursday morning. School delay is definitely a possibility. I think school will happen if it happens a little late. Looks like the precipitation will be coming to an end by the morning, timing-wise right now. So delays possible, cancellations unlikely, I think, on Thursday as we go through. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. They help support what I do here at the West River Weather Guy. I really appreciate their help. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there's a link in the description below that talks about the benefits you get and things like that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel before, I'd encourage you to do so. Helps make sure you don't miss any of my videos, and to make sure that some people who haven't seen my videos before get a chance to discover the channel, and that's good for talking about weather in Southern Vermont. All right. Thanks, and we'll be back Wednesday morning with a look at the forecast, basically for the Thursday overnight storm, the Wednesday overnight into Thursday storm. Talk about details, where it's going to snow, how much, if any, and where it could be slippery on Thursday morning. And then, of course, we'll be back on Friday with a look at your weekend forecast.